A very good morning, children. Children, today we'll start with lesson number 7, that is nutrition and diet. Okay, this chapter deals with the different types of the constituents that we all obtain from the food and their quantities that we should take every day. Okay, and what do you mean by the term balanced diet? Okay, children, so let us begin with a chapter. Children, here you all can see some images in the figure 7.1, right? These are the different foodstuffs that we all have in our everyday life. Okay, there are fruits, there are vegetables, okay, there are staple foods, etc. Okay, so all these kind of foodstuffs we all intake in day-to-day life, right? So children, can you all guess from the figure that which are the various types of foodstuffs? You all can also name the ones that you see in the pictures, and with that you all also have to say that which constituent of the food do we get from them. Okay, just observe the picture and say it. Okay, now living things take food and water and use them for a variety of purposes, such as first and foremost is obtaining energy. Means children, if we all don't take food and water, will we all be able to have energy? And your answer is obviously no, right? And if we don't have energy, how will we all be able to do the work the whole day, right? So food and water is very much essential for obtaining energy. Second, growth of the body. Okay, children, means what? Food and water is very much essential for our body to grow. Otherwise, as we all are in our earlier ages, when we were children, we will be the same as that, right? Our height will be the same, our body will be the same, there will be no changes. That means we all will not be able to grow if we don't take food and water, right, children? So the third one, to carry out day-to-day functions of the body. Okay, what functions we all carry in our day-to-day life, those are also essential. Okay, and that is possible because of the food and the water we all eat. Okay, and last but not the least, to fight against the diseases. Okay, we want strong immunity, and this strong immunity is built up only when we take sufficient amount of food and water. Okay, that helps us to fight the diseases. Okay, next we come to nutrients and foodstuffs. There are 6 main nutrients in our food. Those are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers, vitamins and minerals. Okay, these nutrients are present in different food items we all eat, and they are in different proportions. Okay, Now we will see more detail about them. But children, one thing will come to your mind, that why are they called as nutrients, right? What is the meaning of the word nutrient? Okay, that we will see first, and then we will see all these nutrients in detail. Okay children, so in the living things, the process of taking in food and water and using it for the growth and other purposes is called as nutrition, and the constituents of the food that are used for these purposes are called as nutrients. Children, is that clear? What happens in the living things, the process of food and water, what we take in, and that food and water is used for our growth. Okay, that is what is called as nutrition, and the things that are used for it, they all are called as nutrients. Okay children, okay. Now we'll see the first nutrient, that is carbohydrates. Okay children, carbohydrates are also called as energy giving nutrients. Why do you think so carbohydrates are called as energy giving nutrients? Yes, the simple answer to it is that from carbohydrates we get energy, so they are called as energy giving nutrients. Okay, our main need is of energy, and this energy is fulfilled by carbohydrates. Hence, our diet includes a large proportion of cereals in the form of rice, chapati, roti, bhakri, and bread. And these all foodstuffs contain carbohydrates. Okay, cereals are our staple food. Okay, children, means these things like bhakri, chapati, rice, roti, bread, we all eat every day. Yes, and these are required in large quantities since they provide us with energy that is used for us full day. Okay, so carbohydrates are a rich source of energy. Okay children, next we'll see about fats. Okay, some part of our energy requirement is also fulfilled by fatty foods such as oil, ghee, and butter. Okay, oil, ghee, and butter are called as fats. Okay, we get energy in the form of heat from the food we all eat. Heat is measured in kilocalories, hence the energy in the food items is also measured in kilocalories, that is calories. Okay, children of growing age needs to get approximately 2000 to 2500 calories from the food they all eat. Okay, so children, see to it that you all get 2000 to 2500 calories from the food you all eat. Okay children, next, the next nutrient is proteins. Okay, you can see figure 7.4. yes, these are the various sources of proteins that we can get from various foodstuffs. Okay, we need proteins for the purposes of growth, repairing the wear and tear of the body, and for other life processes. Okay children, we get proteins from the sprouts, milk and milk products, meat and eggs in our food. Okay, so we should eat a lot of milk, we should drink a lot of milk, we should eat eggs, we should eat dry fruits, okay, so that we can get proteins. Okay, next is minerals and vitamins. Okay, to improve the body's resistance to diseases and for other life processes, the body needs vitamins, minerals and fibers in the diet, and we obtain these nutrients mainly from vegetables and fruits. Okay, children, so you will not do that, I don't want this vegetable, I don't want this fruit, this is not good, that is not good. No, you should eat all the vegetables and all the fruits. All these things are very much essential for your body, and without this you will not improve your body's resistance. Okay, we require vitamins and minerals in small quantities, but their deficiency can lead to various diseases. Okay, so let us see about the diseases which they can cause. Okay, the body needs several inorganic substances, and they are called as minerals. Okay, the table below gives examples of some minerals and provides information as well as the diseases caused by their deficiency. Okay, children, that we'll see now. The first column is about the various minerals. The next column is about their functions. The third column shows about sources, and the fourth column gives information about deficiency diseases. Okay, children, now we'll talk about iron. Okay, the function is it carries oxygen to all parts of the body. Sources are meat, spinach, apples, raisins, etc. And deficiency of iron causes anemia, means loss of blood. Okay, next, calcium and phosphorus. The function is that it strengthens bones and teeth. The sources are milk and milk products, green leafy vegetables and meat, and its deficiency causes bad teeth and brittle and weak bones. Okay, next is iodine. You all might have seen in ads, right, that नमक में आयोडीन की मात्रा ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए, right? Not too much and not too less. It should be appropriate. Iodine means salt. Okay, why is it so? It controls the growth, speeds up chemical reactions in the body. Sources are raisins, beans, fish and seafood, and the deficiency causes a disease called as goiter. Okay, next is sodium and potassium. The function is they maintain the body's water balance and functioning of the muscles and nervous system. Okay, their sources are salt, cheese, leafy vegetables, fruits, pulses, and their deficiency causes inefficiency in the muscles. Okay, children, next we'll talk about vitamins. Children, there are two types of vitamins, that is water soluble vitamins and water insoluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins are those which are soluble in water. Okay, and water insoluble vitamins are those which are not soluble or which are insoluble in water. Okay, now we will see first about water soluble vitamins. Children, vitamin B and vitamin C dissolve easily in water, so they are called as water soluble vitamins, and they are thrown out of the body through the water in the form of sweat and urine. Okay, hence a regular supply of these vitamins is essential. Okay, children, there are 6 types of vitamin B. Okay, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B9 and vitamin B12. Okay, these are the important types of the vitamins. Next we will come to water insoluble vitamins. These vitamins are insoluble in water but are soluble in fatty substances. Okay, they get stored in the body. Vitamin A, D, E and K and vitamin C are fat soluble vitamins. Okay, children, now we will see a chart which will show the vitamins, their sources and their functions. Okay, children, if possible, keep this chart along with you and follow this chart. Okay, children, because this chart is very much important. Okay, chalo, we'll start with the chart. First, vitamin A. Vitamin A, it protects eyes, help to keep the skin, bones and teeth healthy. Okay, the sources are carrot, milk, butter, dark green vegetables, sweet potatoes, deep yellow fruits and vegetables. Diseases: night blindness, that is inability to see in the dim light, and xeroderma, that is dry skin. Okay, next, vitamin B1, they help in proper functioning of nerves and heart. Okay, the sources are milk, fish, meat, cereals, nuts, pulses. Okay, and deficiency diseases are beriberi, that is nerve disorder, muscle weakness or insufficiency. Okay, next, vitamin B2, it is necessary for the growth of the body. The sources are deep green vegetables, papaya and kiwis, and the diseases are improper growth, then anemia, forgetfulness, slow movements. Okay, next is vitamin B12. It is responsible for the formation of RBCs, that is red blood cells. Okay, it is obtained from meat and milk products, and the deficiency diseases by not eating this is anemia, that is lack of blood in the body. Okay, next, vitamin C. Vitamin C helps to protect the body tissues, formation of collagen, that is a protein which is essential for gums, teeth, bones and skin. Okay, the sources are amla, kiwi, then oranges, other citrus fruits, means the fruits that are tangy in taste. Okay, cabbage, tomatoes, green leafy vegetables, etc. Okay, and the diseases caused by the deficiency are scurvy, that is bleeding of gums, thyroid malfunction, delay in healing of wounds, etc. Okay, next is vitamin D. Vitamin D absorbs calcium and phosphorus for healthy bones and teeth. The sources are on exposure to sunlight. Vitamin D is made in the human body from some substances in milk, fish, eggs and butter. Okay, and the deficiency diseases, it causes rickets, that is softening of the bones, causing pain and fractures. Okay. Next is vitamin E. It helps in smooth functioning of metabolism inside the cells. It helps in reproduction. It helps in maintaining efficiency of the muscle cells. The sources are wheat germ, green leafy vegetables, tender leaves, vegetable oils, etc. Okay, and the deficiency diseases caused by it are weak muscles, obstruction in reproduction, skin disorders, etc. Next, vitamin K. Vitamin K helps in clotting of blood. Okay, means it stops the blood after some time and it clots the blood. Okay, the sources are green leafy vegetables, green cabbage, broccoli, sprouted pulses, yellowish thing of eggs. Okay, and the deficiency or the disorder is exclusive bleeding after an injury. Okay, children. Now we'll see about the last part of this session. Okay, children, you all can see here, right? The first one is scurvy, the second one is the rickets, and third one is goiter. Okay, scurvy occurs in the fingers of the hands. Rickets occurs with respect to legs, that is, the legs are bended, and in some other forms the legs are bended, right? And third is goiter. Goiter happens in your neck. Okay, Casimir Funk was a scientist who belonged to Poland in Europe. In a scientific article, he read that people who ate brown rice were less likely to get beriberi than those who ate fully milled rice. Okay, he was able he was able to identify and isolate the substance which prevents this disease. He named it vitamin. He also proposed that other disorders like scurvy, pellagra, and rickets were also caused by a deficiency of various vitamins. Okay, now we'll see about probiotics. You know that the useful microorganisms which convert milk into yogurt, yogurt means what? Dahi. Okay, are present in yogurt and in the buttermilk. Okay, they are called as probiotics. Lakhs of microorganisms reside in our intestines. Yes, children, this is a fact. There are lakhs of microorganisms in our intestines. Their presence in such large numbers is essential for our health. Okay, these microorganisms are not harmful for our health. They are useful for our health. Hence, to maintain them in the body, we should include probiotics such as yogurt and buttermilk in our daily diet. Okay, children? When we suffer from loose motions and vomiting, we throw out microorganisms along with the intestinal water. Okay, some medicines also kill them. Therefore, we need to take extra yogurt or buttermilk to restore these numbers. Okay, yogurt or buttermilk we should take in our everyday food. Okay, they all help to keep those microorganisms which are necessary in our body. And with this, we are at the end of our this session. Okay, children, thank you. We will continue with the next part of the chapter in the next session.